Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Once on the brink of collapse from US sanctions, Huawei's future looked uncertain. The world watched as one of China's tech giants was suddenly cut off from critical American technology, suppliers, and software. Headlines predicted the company's demise, and industry experts doubted it could survive such a blow. Yet, against all odds, Huawei has staged a stunning comeback. The company's leadership rallied its workforce, sparking a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Employees celebrated small victories, each step forward fueling a larger resurgence. The company's bold move to abandon Google's Android ecosystem has redrawn the global tech landscape. By developing its own HarmonyOS, Huawei challenged the status quo and signaled to the world that it would not be dependent on Western technology. For years, Android and iOS dominated the smartphone market, leaving little room for alternatives. Consumers around the globe became accustomed to a duopoly, with few expecting any real disruption. Huawei's forced exit was seen as a death sentence. Many believed the company would fade into irrelevance, unable to compete without access to essential software and hardware. Instead, Huawei forged its own path, creating HarmonyOS and redesigning its products from scratch. Engineers and designers worked tirelessly, reimagining what a smartphone ecosystem could be, and building a platform tailored to their vision. This isn't just a business story, it's a pivotal moment in the US-China tech rivalry, with global consequences. The world's two largest economies are now locked in a technological arms race, each vying for dominance in the digital age. By early 2025, Huawei's financials showed a dramatic resurgence, with revenue soaring and market share in China surpassing Apple. Investors and analysts were stunned by the speed and scale of the turnaround. The attempt to cripple Huawei backfired, creating a powerful, self-sufficient competitor. The company's relentless innovation and refusal to give up turned adversity into opportunity. Consumers now face new choices as HarmonyOS devices enter the market and challenge the old order. The smartphone landscape is more dynamic than ever before. US tech firms count their losses, grappling with the reality that their dominance is no longer guaranteed. The ripple effects are being felt across Silicon Valley and Wall Street. Meanwhile, China celebrates a major victory in self-reliance, hailing Huawei's comeback as proof of the nation's growing technological strength and independence. Huawei's journey is a testament to resilience and a warning about the unintended consequences of sanctions. It's a story of grit, innovation, and the will to survive against overwhelming odds. The tale of Huawei's defiance is a defining chapter in 21st century geopolitics, reshaping the future of global technology and international power dynamics. The US began targeting Huawei in the late 2010s, citing national security concerns and fears of espionage. In 2019, Huawei was blacklisted, losing access to critical US components and Google mobile services. This was a devastating blow, threatening to make Huawei's devices unusable for millions outside China. Sanctions later expanded to block Huawei from advanced semiconductors, aiming to halt its 5G and smartphone ambitions. The goal neutralized Huawei by crippling its tech capabilities and isolating it from the global supply chain. Revenue plummeted, and its international smartphone business withered. The US expected a checkmate, but Huawei had quietly prepared for this storm. What was meant as an end became the start of a new chapter. When Huawei was suddenly cut off from Android, the company faced a daunting crossroads. Would it try to find a workaround, quietly fade into irrelevance, or take the boldest path of all, building something entirely new from the ground up? The stakes were enormous, with the future of its smartphone business and millions of users hanging in the balance. Huawei chose to innovate, rapidly transforming HarmonyOS from a niche IoT platform into a full-fledged smartphone operating system. This was a massive technical leap, requiring the company to rethink everything from user experience to security and to do it all at breakneck speed. But the real challenge wasn't just building the software. Without a thriving app ecosystem, even the best operating system would struggle. Huawei had to convince developers to create apps for a brand new platform, starting from zero. To tackle this, Huawei poured billions into developer support, launching global conferences, offering incentives, and building partnerships with both Chinese and international app makers. The company knew that winning over developers was key to survival. In late 2024, Huawei unveiled HarmonyOS Next, a truly independent operating system built from scratch with no Android code. This marked a decisive break from Google, signaling Huawei's determination to control its own destiny. Alongside the OS, Huawei developed its own suite of essential services, like App Gallery for apps and Pedal Maps for navigation, providing alternatives to Google's offerings and ensuring users had everything they needed. Major Chinese tech giants, including Tencent and Alibaba, rallied behind HarmonyOS, lending their support and resources. Their backing gave the new ecosystem the momentum it needed to grow rapidly. By early 2025, HarmonyOS had reached nearly 1 billion users, powering not just smartphones but also tablets, smartwatches, and even cars. The ecosystem was thriving, connecting people and devices in ways never seen before. With this explosive growth, Huawei established itself as a true third force in the global tech industry, standing shoulder to shoulder with Google and Apple, and reshaping the competitive landscape. What began as a crisis of survival became the foundation for a self-sufficient digital empire, proof that adversity can spark the birth of a whole new ecosystem. Beyond software, Huawei faced the monumental challenge of rebuilding its entire hardware supply chain from the ground up after US sanctions cut off access to critical American technology. This wasn't just about finding new suppliers, it meant rethinking every stage of production, from sourcing raw materials to final assembly, and ensuring that no US origin technology was present in any component. The company responded with a sweeping campaign to eliminate US tech from its products, meticulously reviewing and auditing every single component. Teams of engineers and supply chain experts worked around the clock, identifying vulnerabilities and searching for domestic or international alternatives that could match or exceed the quality of the original parts. By 2023, Huawei had successfully replaced over 13,000 parts and redesigned 4,000 circuit boards, relying on domestic or non-US suppliers. This massive overhaul required not only technical expertise, but also close collaboration with hundreds of local partners, fostering a new ecosystem of innovation within China's tech industry. The breakthrough moment arrived with the launch of the Mate 60 series, which featured a domestically produced 7nm processor, an achievement that many experts had previously considered out of reach for China. This milestone demonstrated that Chinese engineers could overcome even the most daunting technological barriers. The Mate 60's success sent a powerful signal to the world. China was making rapid strides towards semiconductor self-sufficiency, narrowing the gap with global leaders and reducing its reliance on foreign technology. But Huawei didn't stop there. The company also invested heavily in developing its own AI chips and cutting-edge smart automotive technology, positioning itself as a formidable rival to established global giants in both fields. By 2025, Huawei's solutions powered hundreds of thousands of vehicles on the road, with some industry analysts even rating its smart driving systems above those of Tesla, a testament to the company's relentless pursuit of excellence and innovation. In the face of adversity, Huawei didn't just survive, it diversified, expanded, and innovated into entirely new sectors, transforming itself into a symbol of resilience and ingenuity. Ultimately, the company's relentless push for technological independence and self-reliance paid off, setting a new standard for what's possible in the global tech industry. Huawei's financials tell a story of dramatic recovery. In 2024, revenue soared to 860 billion yuan, nearly back to pre-sanction highs. Its smartphone business rebounded, growing 50% year-on-year in China and overtaking Apple's market share. New devices like the Mate 60 series became symbols of national pride. In telecom, Huawei's global market share actually grew, despite US lobbying against its 5G tech. Over 3.2 billion people outside China now live in countries using Huawei's 5G equipment. Even Google apps made unofficial returns to Huawei phones abroad, showing persistent demand. The numbers proved Huawei had not just adapted, but thrived. Living with US sanctions wasn't easy, but Huawei turned adversity into success. The company's comeback is now a case study in resilience. HarmonyOS is now the first credible new mobile OS in over a decade. Huawei's 1+8+N strategy connects phones, tablets, watches, TVs, and cars in a seamless ecosystem. With nearly 1 billion devices, HarmonyOS has reached critical mass. Developers can't ignore it. This threatens Android's dominance, as every HarmonyOS device is one less for Google. Experts predict Android's global market share will erode as HarmonyOS expands. HarmonyOS is also moving into laptops and tablets, Challenging Microsoft's Windows, Huawei's unified OS across all devices offers a compelling alternative to fragmented rivals. The era of a two-horse race is over. Huawei has carved out its own sphere of influence. The future of operating systems is now multipolar. Huawei's comeback has shaken the global tech industry, altering dynamics for US firms, Chinese competitors, and consumers. US tech giants like Qualcomm and Intel lost over $33 billion in sales after losing Huawei as a customer. In China, Huawei's success has inspired a wave of investment in homegrown tech and self-sufficiency. Other Chinese firms are now racing to build independent technology stacks. For consumers, a third major ecosystem means more choice, but also more fragmentation. The digital world is splitting into competing spheres, complicating global connectivity. Huawei's resurgence in China has eroded Apple's market share and challenges Samsung globally. As Forbes noted, Huawei's forced independence may ultimately hurt US companies more than it helps. The global tech landscape is being reshaped before our eyes. Many experts now agree, US sanctions on Huawei may have backfired. Instead of crippling Huawei, the pressure forced it to innovate and become more resilient. The sanctions accelerated China's push for tech independence, not containment. US companies suffered major financial losses, sparking debate about the wisdom of such trade restrictions. The policy meant to protect American leadership helped create a formidable new rival. Huawei's survival is now a blueprint for others seeking tech independence. The attempt to bring Huawei to its knees only made it stand taller. The lesson in a connected world, isolation can have unintended and powerful consequences. Huawei's defiance marks a fundamental shift in the global tech order. Its independent ecosystem is the most significant challenge yet to Silicon Valley's dominance. The saga highlights the link between technology, economics, and national sovereignty. Huawei's success proves that world-class tech can be built outside the West. The digital world is now fragmented, but also more competitive and innovative. Consumer choices now carry geopolitical weight, reflecting new spheres of influence. The story of Huawei is a cautionary tale about the limits of power and the unpredictability of innovation. The future of technology will be written by many, not just one.